We continue with the lecture of history, chapter number 5, when people rebel. Till the last lecture we saw how the soldiers of Meerut overnight they marched, they rode on horses and reached Delhi to approach Bahadur Shah Zafar to take over the administration, as they didn't want any more to work for the British, and they wanted to work for the nation now. So they were involved in the mutiny. So Bahadur Shah Zafar had readily agreed, though he had doubts in his mind, but he agreed, saying that fine, I will do it. Now after that, what happened? Let's see. Did the revolt or the mutiny only get confined to only Meerut, or proceeded further also? Let's see. Well, till a week after that incident took place, nothing happened. So the Britishers thought it was only this much, so there is nothing to worry. But that was not the case. They were actually sitting on a thin sheet of ice. Everywhere the message had spread that this kind of mutiny had taken place, and the word already was in the market that the Britishers are trying to attack the religion of the people. Now what could be done? So everybody had their plan of actions ready, but the implementation was to be done. So after a week, in the villages, the people of the village, the zamindars, the chiefs of the tribals, all started opposing the British rule. They attacked the British army, they attacked the Britishers, the white soldiers, and they wanted independence at any cost. So they wanted themselves to get freed from the clutches of the British. This happened on the village level. Now, Nana Sahib, you remember the adopted son of Peshwa Bajirao too, who was not given the amount what he had asked for when his father had died, because he was the adopted son. Now, Nana Sahib also proclaimed himself to be the Peshwa of that area, and he also declared that he is working on behalf of Bahadur Shah Zafar, because Bahadur Shah Zafar was supposed to lead the country at that time, and he fought a very rigorous battle against the British because of all the atrocities they had committed, and declared himself free to be the Peshwa of his area. Now in Lucknow, Birjis Qadar was a person who did the same. He revolted because his father was deposed and his father's kingdom was taken away from him. So he also revolted and took back his kingdom. He also did the same thing. He also revolted against the British army with his soldiers and took back the kingdom. All those army, the regiments which were like right now not active, had now become active suddenly because of this mutiny. And the most prominent name which came up was Jhansi, the Rani of Jhansi, Rani Lakshmibai. She, along with Tatya Tope, took part in the struggle of this particular mutiny, and then she also fought back with great valor and courage. Everybody at their own level was fighting. In Madhya Pradesh also, Rani Avanti Bai, there was a lady, there was a queen. She also fought back against the British rule. Now the problem which was arising for the British was that they were actually losing many battles against these people only whom they had suppressed earlier. They were losing many battles. That was actually bringing their morale down. Certain people were writing, the heads of the armies were writing to their viceroys and all, that we are losing grip over the area. They were losing to us because we were getting united. That's the point to be noted. Now, not only this, in Delhi, the Maulvis had declared that we are going to, like, prophecies are there, like Bhavishyavani, what you call it, prophecy in Hindi is called Bhavishyavani. They had made prophecies that now we want to get freedom from the clutches of the Britishers. Maulvis, religious leaders, all religious workers, all were fighting against the British because they knew that the religion is under threat. Now all the army units which were marching towards Delhi were taken care of a person named Bakht Khan. He was over there and he was taking care of the people who would come, and he would tell them what is to be done, how it is to be done. At this level, if an entire country emerges to fight against the British, do you think the British was going to keep quiet? The British were going to keep quiet? No. They did react. And we didn't get independence at that time, 1857. We did not get it. We got it later. How did the British revolt? Let's see. Well, the British did not sit quietly. They knew that they were falling short of forces to fight back against the rebel. Now what did they do is they called for extra reinforcements from England. So they called for extra troops of army and ammunition and weapons. Everything was called for, and they came also. They fought back with the help of that army. They passed new laws then and there to facilitate their grip and immediate action against the revolt. So the new laws actually allowed them to do whatever they could to suppress the revolt. This is how they were acting very brainily also, as well as physically also. In all this, Delhi was recaptured by them when Bahadur Shah Zafar had taken the decision that he will be the king of the independent India. Now all that had come to a halt. They had recaptured Delhi. Bahadur Shah Zafar was arrested. He was tried in court. He and his wife were sent for. They were imprisoned for lifetime. Lifetime imprisonment was given to these two, and they died. Bahadur Shah Zafar died in the jail. After this, when it came to the other revolts, Rani Lakshmi Bai, Rani Avanti Bai, they were also overpowered by the British in the fight. They did not have any other option except for embracing death. They had to die. Tate Tope somehow managed to escape, and he went and lived in the forest, but he fought a very unique battle, like a hidden kind of a battle. It was called guerrilla warfare, with the help of the tribals in the forest and the peasants. So, but then he was also captured after a few months, and then he was killed by the British. But did British suddenly bring an end to the revolt? No. It took them 2 long years to suppress this revolt. 2 long years to suppress this revolt. Then it knew what is the power of the Indians if they came together. After that, the British had to act sensibly. What did they do? They somehow wanted so much of tussle in between the people over there. Then what did they do? They tried to attract the people who were loyal to them. Like those people, those donkeys who did not take part in the revolt of 1857. Those were the loyal landowners to the British. So they gave them extra benefits. They said that you can continue enjoying the rights of your zamindari system. They gave them extra benefits, and moreover, they said like those people who did take part in the revolt but did not kill any English men, any white men, can also continue to enjoy their rights and privileges as the owners of the land. They tried to now bring in a little bit of ease to ease out the situation, so that the people who were loyal to them remain loyal and they do not take part if another rebel would break. After the incident of 1857, the Britishers knew that it would not be easy to run the country with the same administrative policies what they were using earlier. So they made certain remarkable changes in the administrative policies to ensure smooth functioning of the government in our country. So one major thing, like there are points given in your book, but certain major points are, the first thing what they did is, they were ruling under the rule of East India Company, because that trading company had come and all officials and the army and everything was related to the East India Company. But now the powers of the East India Company were given in the hands of the Queen of England directly. So that means we came under the kingdomship of the Queen of England. So that means the administration of our country, India, would be in the control of the Queen, and the Queen, along with her council, would take care of whatever was happening in India. The Governor Generals were given the title of Viceroys. The Queen had from the council sent a person called Secretary. He also had an advice council who used to give advices and then take care of the administration. This was a very remarkable change, that the East India Company's control had been shifted now to the Queen, under the Queen directly. So that whatever would happen in the country would be governed directly by the Queen, and their decisions would be implemented rather than East India Companies. Now, they wanted to attract the people also. Accordingly, those who were living over there. So those who were ruling at that time, ruling chiefs, they were told that they were ensured, they were said that 100% your kingdoms would not be annexed now. Matlab, aapka kingdom I will not take away, your annexation will not take place. You can transfer, that means the descendants can take the kingdom from the king, like the king's son would get, the legal heir would get the kingdom of the king. They could transfer now. And not only that, that adopted son policy, that you cannot, the doctrine of lapse was brought in, and they said even if you have an adopted son, you can give away your kingdom to them, they can rule after them. But they said that your kingdomship would be a level lower than the queen. So you are a subordinate kingdom, not the prior or the main one. That was one clause. Now, Indian soldiers in the army, the number of Indian soldiers, the ratio of the Indian soldiers was reduced, and the ratio of the European soldiers was increased. Why? Use your logic. Yes, if Indian soldiers were to be more, the same thing would happen as 1857 took place. The revolt would take place, because they had the control of the army. If half of the army would be Indians or 3/4 of the army would be Indians, then the strength of the Britishers would be less. So the Indian soldiers were lesser and the European soldiers were more. Moreover, the British avoided now to recruit people from certain areas like Central India, Awadh, South India, because when they had noticed that when this entire rebellion took place, the mutiny took place, the revolt of 1857 took place, most of the people were from there only. Now in the place of these soldiers from these areas, Awadh and all, they decided to take the Gorkhas, the Pathans and the Sikhs. They all from here they started recruiting the soldiers. Now new people, they can rely upon, they knew what the old ones had done. So now what happened, one very remarkable thought came in this Britishers' mind. That was that they started now suspecting the Muslims, and they started taking away the lands which belonged to the Muslims. They started confiscating the lands. Why? They thought that the revolt of 1857 actually was sparked by the Muslims. So they thought that the Muslims played a major role in the revolt of 1857. That is why they did not want them to prosper. So they were taking away the land, and there was always such suspicion in their mind against the Muslims. Now, whatever thought was there in the hearts of the people that they are attacking our religion and all, they wanted to suppress or bring a halt to that thought process. So they started not intervening. They stopped intervening in the processes of the customs and the beliefs of the religious purposes. So they did not intervene in that. They gave freedom. They paid respect to all the customs and beliefs of the people, so that the people would not feel threatened on the basis of their religion. Policies were made to protect the landlords and the zamindars' rights. Till now, they were making laws and rules and regulations to take away. Now they wanted to protect the people who had that zamindar, that had the land in their hand. So to favor them, they did all this stuff. So there was a remarkable change. Like till 3 years, the British struggled, and then it did attain victory on suppressing the revolt of 1857, but at a cost. It came at a cost. They were not to be administering the country in the same way as they were doing earlier, like I am I and I am not going to listen to you. That change came in the behavior when the reins, the control of the kingdom of India, control of India went into the hands of the Queen. Now, do you think only 1857 was the revolt, was the time when people revolted? No, there was one more, way before it, around 40 years ago, something, 1817. There's a case study in your textbook at the end of the chapter, the Khurda uprising. Read it. It's in sequential events as to what had happened earlier to 1857 and how did the people revolt then also. There was an uprising, there was a discontentment among people over there, and how that particular entire thing took place. Like 1857 has a story attached to it, like this and this happened. Even 1817 has got. So read that part. With this, we have finished the explanation of this chapter. I will be sending you the marked answers pictures. Mark them in your textbook, and if there is a need to write, I will write and send it to you in the textbook only, the picture of it, and then you can write in your text. But do read the case study of the Khurda uprising.